Just hold on. Things will get better. Things will get better. Just hold on. Welcome to Life Behind Studies, and today I have my brother Biva Gilisho, and I will let him introduce himself today.
Thank you very much, Bill Daddy, for giving me this opportunity. As you have heard, my name is Biva Gilisho, and I come from a small village called Oloiborsoito. Oloiborsoito means a village with white stones, and it's a really, really beautiful village. And it's located in the famous Rift Valley. And this is a great village where I was raised. It's raised a lot of great people, and I believe I'm one of them. And the journey has not been as easy, but the journey always has hills and valleys and plains. And I'll just give you my story before I came to Australia. Before I came to Australia, I just completed my high school in Gilisho High School. We were known as the Green Army, and we had great memories in high school. I can say I wasn't the most brilliant student, but I was an average student, and I was always hopeful for the best. And in my high school life, I never imagined myself studying in a Kenyan university, though I had applied to various universities just as any other candidate would do. And lucky enough, I was called to do criminology, what I really wanted to do. But we'll put that on hold. Just after high school, I was living with my sister, who was at the time expecting a child. And so one of her neighbors had a daughter who was here in Australia. And one time my sister, informed me there is this opportunity to go and study in Australia, and I would like you to try and apply. So as everyone who lives in Kenya, or possibly anyone who has finished high school, they would like to do something. So I went on to do my IELTS, which is an English test to qualify to come to Australia. And luckily enough, I passed the exam. I think I got a 6.5. And we started, finding an agent to apply for a school here. So by that time, I had not told my parents about me coming to Australia. So I had to tell them that there was this opportunity, and they were very supportive of it. I think they thought it was a scholarship. So then we applied for the school, and then they had to send the offer letter. And once the offer letter came, it came at the time when also the offer letter from the university I was called to do criminology came. And for the university I was called to do criminology back in Kenya, I was only supposed to pay about 200 Australian dollars at semester. But on the other hand, for my nursing diploma, I was supposed to pay $12,000 a semester. So I think for my parents to see that, they were a bit, they questioned the idea of me coming to Australia, because they thought there's $200 and there's $12,000. Any sane person would say, you go for the $200. So then for me, I was very hopeful to come to Australia, because I heard about all these, it's a great country. There's a lot of opportunities, and there's also, people there, Kenyans who are living there. So I wanted to come and feel this moment, as a young person who wanted a bright future. So the problem came when, my dad said, "Oh, I don't think it's a good idea for you to come because it's quite expensive." And I come from a middle class family. So anyway, I always was hopeful, and I kept on praying and hoping for the best. I used every single method to try and convince my parents to let me come here, but it was always a no, no, no. Lucky enough, while I was staying with my sister, my brother-in-law was away overseas, and I had involved him in this process. So I informed him that my dad had said no because it was quite an expensive journey. So one day he just called me and said, "I'll pay the 12,000 for you."
Wow.
And I said, oh my, this is God. Because having someone sacrifice $12,000, I think that's about 1.2 million Kenya shillings, just for you to go and get this opportunity, it's very humbling. And I attest all this to God, because I always believed that He had a great plan for me. So anyway, the villagers in my village also came together with my family and also held a fundraising to boost the contribution. And I was happy because I got the opportunity to come and study here. So my journey of flying, I had never flown before. The only time I was in the airport was touring the airport, to see the aeroplanes and things like that.
Yeah.
I think I'd only been to Nairobi about twice since before I came to Australia. So it was quite a, anxious situation. But thank God, because of my brother-in-law, he had traveled in and out of the country. So he had to draw a map for me to show me how the airport looks like. And, there's gate A, there's gate G, there's gate C. So we were using my boarding pass, to check which gate I was going to use and which other gate I was going through. So we did that, and then, it was time to go. And a week before I came, it was a very emotional journey, because my mom was quite emotional even before I started coming. She was crying, and I understand she would miss me, And I think that was one of the hardest times, just to leave family back. And my dad was there tapping my back. Hey, you're a man. You go and bring the best. So I went. I got into the airport, boarded a flight. I wasn't aware about seats where you're supposed to sit or anything like that. I just went and sat in the first seat I could have sat on, and I sat with a wonderful lady, and we started having a conversation. When we were mid-flight to South Africa, air host came to me and told me, "Are you supposed to be sitting here?" I told him the chair was empty. So why should I not sit here? Yeah. No, he told me, no, you're in business class. You're supposed to go to economy. Wow. So I wasn't aware. So I had to pick my bags and go to the economy class. Anyway, the flight was great. I got to South Africa. And then from South Africa, I met a Zambian guy. We had a conversation, connected my flight to Perth, and from Perth to Adelaide. But the flight was amazing, but it was quite, nerve-wracking, because I had never flown before. But, being a man from, especially my community, the Maasai community, I could not show people that I was nervous about the flight. So I kept on smiling, even though, how it was quite, a challenging journey. And also the food in the aeroplane was interesting, because I was not used to, such kind of foods. And also because the communication, people had an accent. They could have spoken in quite a fast way, so you could not grasp what they are really saying. So I was just waiting for, chicken, that's chicken. I want chicken. But I thank God I landed safely in Australia, and a beautiful lady called Faith Sawe, she received me.